Well, good morning. Welcome to our next garden tour. The end of May, almost beginning of June pretty soon. So yeah, let's look around. Lots of change. You will see that it is indeed looking more like a summer garden. Let me know what you're drinking first thing in the morning. I didn't even take time to make a nice coffee. I just jumped up, took the boy to school, and I just have some flavored energy water because it's gonna get hot real quick. All right, on to the fun stuff, what you guys came here for, the flowers. The amaranth always impresses me and how long those tendrils are. We had a bit of an issue where these guys were falling over. They were completely sprawled across the walkway. And I'm not sure if it's just the weight of the flowers or what, but we went ahead and strung them all up to the barn. Not quite the majestic look I was going for, but hey, they're there. Better than not. But we do have, it's hard to see because they're clumped together, but we do have a beautiful sunflower here. We rescued it from the ground. Lovely, and we'll get some more soon. So yeah, I don't know if they were planted and grew in too much of an angle that they fell over or what. All right, you ready for this massive transformation? This is what the tomato row looked like before. And this is what it looks like now. Whoa. I couldn't even walk through here before. It was such a jungle. We completely removed all of the kale plants and all of, well, the cabbage wasn't really doing anything, but all of the kale plants that were still in here, and the yellow chard that was going to seed. So yeah, now it's just a row of tomatoes. And of course, I hate having any bare area, so I totally want to get some more plants and fill this space up. Nursery and pick up some herbs. Maybe I'll try eggplants again, we'll see. While I'm walking by it, I did start to pull up the cucumbers and start training them to go up this, whatever this plant is. At the end of each row of tomatoes, we have cherry tomatoes, and we do have a few fruits that have already set. We're heading into the next week of warm temperatures and then a weekend of really hot temperatures. So we'll see if they continue setting fruit or if all of the blossoms fall off. We have more cherry tomatoes here. A couple of more Roma style tomatoes here. Cherries, we have Romas. We have random large red tomatoes. We have, I think I put a beefsteak in here. I think one of these at least is beefsteak. Up next, we have the peppers. They're enjoying this warmer weather for sure. They've started to put on a lot more height, so that makes me happy. This guy though, I mean, he looks better than he did. He's got quite a few more leaves. So, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe when the true heat hits, it will explode. The onions are somewhat bulbing. I'm not an expert at growing onions. This is the first time I've had them actually start to bulb up at all. But yeah, we have actually got some peppers set here. Little baby ones there. Now these are supposed to be Greg's Grande jalapenos. So, not sure that that's gonna do anything. Look at this guy. I think I even said on camera I didn't think it was going to do anything. But that's actually a head. That is nice and firm. So I can harvest that for my sauerkraut this week. Speaking of something cool, let me show you something. So I think you guys were with me when I came through and harvested all of the cabbage heads. So when I did that, I just left the cabbages in place and I'm letting them decompose. I've used all of the leaf litter of the kale and the cabbages that I'm not eating, and I've thrown it back on the soil to help, protect the soil, retain moisture, etc. Well, I was just gonna let this do that, and then I came back and I noticed, hey, wait, there's more growth here. These are little pups. So I broke some off before I realized what was happening. So I could replant these and this would be a new cabbage. I knew broccoli does this. Like if you cut off the main head and leave it, more will sprout, and I'll show you that on another plant. This is exactly what happened over there. I didn't know cabbage did that. Yeah, I know they're like in the same family kind of thing, but I've never seen that before. That's crazy. So all of these would be little baby cabbages if I left it. So I'm gonna see. I mean, it's gonna get hot. I don't think it's gonna do anything, but hey, why not? Let's experiment, friend. Let's plant you too. Why not? I'm just gonna cover it up and maybe give it a little bit more protection. We'll see. So the peppers that I transplanted into the bed, I have rescued them from the jungle of pumpkins that I'll show you in a second. I'm probably going to do the same to the other side. Harvest that last turnip and plant some more peppers on the other side, as well as these bags of kale. The kale is starting to get obviously not as tender and not as delicious. I'm just sauteing it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But when I came through and fixed up the beds for the tomatoes, I harvested all of the kale, like I said, and I've got like 3 bags of kale I can saute up. So I'm probably just going to reset these bags completely and use them for more peppers and go rescue them from over here. But first, this is what I was talking about. So I harvested the main head of broccoli, which was puny and adorable. And then it has produced these side shoots that I've just left. We could have had a little snack of broccoli, but I'll just leave it and see the beautiful blossoms of broccoli. And I am working on next trimming back this jungle. There are some of these that I hand pollinated that I think took, so that one looks to be okay. I don't think that one is. That one looks to be okay as well. And that one over there. So I'm cutting back anything that is coming out of this bed too far. Like I'm gonna cut that one over there. And I'll probably leave that one. Anything that is coming this way or that way out of this area, I'm cutting off. So I'm trying to confine it to this side of the garden as much as possible, which is not easy to do with cucumbers, pumpkins, all those vining crops. And this zucchini plant is getting a little cray-cray, so I might pull him out after I have restarted one and reset this little tangled mess. But you can see that it has become quite the fend for yourself over here. So I'm going to go through for my garden cleanup this week. There's a pile of like random gardening things over there that I'm going to pick up, and I'm going to let the pumpkin just kind of hang out there. I'm going to come through and rescue some of the pepper plants and get them planted over there, and make sure that all of the cucumbers have a trellis, if not at least have attached to the fence. And then I'll be harvesting carrots just here and there as I need them, as long as they're not going to seed. As soon as they go to seed, then I'll pull them. Pumpkin and the squash kind of just take over this area, and it will just be a field of crazy. So we have our candy roasters. So they're like a think like butternut squash kind of squash. And of course in the middle we have the zucchini, which is crazy to me that the zucchini is the larger leaves versus the pumpkin over there. It's crazy. So let's go over there and see what's going on. Step very carefully. There are some over here that I'm keeping. I pollinated them. Definitely need to start harvesting out of these carrots. Holy cow. There's a lot in there. Okay, let's just pick one more. I love growing carrots for this exact reason. Carrots and potatoes are so fun. It's like digging for buried treasure. Okay, we're gonna go for that one right there. How big do you think it's gonna be? Those are some thick leaf stems. Get a good grip and pull. Okay, well, I guess it's thicker than the other ones I just pulled. I don't know if it's the same variety or not. Dang it. Okay, let's try this one. All right, that's a good sized carrot. Okay, yeah, I mean, those aren't bad. Nice size in there. You can see there is cucumbers there that are being suffocated by this guy. So I will make sure that those have a leader trellised up. And as long as they can get into the sun, like that one over there, they will be able to photosynthesize just fine. Okay, let's keep going. Step right here. Step right here. Lots of open blossoms for sure. Hello, Misty. How are you? Getting a drink of water. Nice big open flowers. And here's a little baby pumpkin. So cute. And we have quite a few of those. They are everywhere. So I might come through and hand pollinate just to make sure we get some. I might even, I'll probably remove some of the foliage on the rest of the plant just so we can see our way through. Fix up this area for sure. And this tomato that I have here is one of the extra ones that we just plopped here next to the fence in this open space. And I think I'm just going to let it go. Like, it's already laying on the ground, supporting itself. So it's created like this bush of all of its leaves. And it is setting fruit. And if you didn't know, this is how tomatoes are grown in the wild. We don't do it that way for a couple different reasons. For pests, if it's laying on the ground, it's more prone to pests getting into the fruit. So you can lose your fruit to other bugs, and also the health of the fruit, the health of the plant can be compromised by disease with it laying on the ground like that. So that's why we trellis them instead. A few minutes, I think, until the kitten needs to be attended to again. I have a baby kitten, newborn kitten that we rescued. It looked like they were either abandoned, dropped off sort of thing, or I don't know what, but his siblings were definitely not doing well. So, whew, take a little breather in the shade. I love it. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. It is crazy to me to think about. Like, I go back and look at the videos while I'm editing. You can see all your previous clips and material. And I sometimes catch a glimpse of the video of me making this garden. It was bare, full of weeds, crappy soil, dry as heck, no life in it at all. And now it's turned into this lush oasis. I love it. I'm excited to look and see how it changes come fall, because I was not able to have the fall garden, obviously, because I was building it. So I didn't have much going on then. But this year I definitely plan to do those cold weather crops again and see how much better they do. So I'm going to throw in the broccolis and the cabbages and all that kind of stuff and see how it does in the fall for us, and if it's going to overwinter. So I'm really excited about that. But first, we enjoy our tomato harvest, hopefully, and cucumbers and squash. Oh my. As I'm going through this garden, right, so my initial investment in seeds were garden packs. So I bought like a spring garden mix, maybe something like that, where it has a bunch of different types of vegetables in it. So I had things in there that I normally would not have grown, like turnips and kohlrabi, things like that. And so I thought, hey, why not? I have the seeds. They're not going to do anything if I don't put them in the ground. So I went ahead and put them in the ground. And as I'm harvesting and trying them, cooking them different ways, seeing if I like them or not. So that's, I think, one way you could do it. Obviously, you could just go to the store and buy the vegetable or fruit or whatever it is and see if you even like it first before you invest in any seeds. But sometimes it's the same price as buying one vegetable versus the seeds. So even if we don't love it, we do have other means of taking care of that produce that we don't like. I have worm bins that are set up, and so if push came to shove, I could always dehydrate it, turn it into powder, or give it to them straight. But I think the important part here is that I'm experimenting, trying new things. I wouldn't normally buy these things in the store, and so that's neat. And I'm also learning what I do like and what I don't like and what I would want to garden next time. So as I'm working through these vegetables and harvesting in them, and like I said, trying them in different ways, I'm thinking about, do I want to grow this again next year for myself? And some of them, yes. I'll grow more kohlrabi. I like that. Definitely keep up on the kale next year. That's been really nice to have those fresh greens that I can saute up and put into our different meal preps for the week. Definitely do cabbages, and I'll get a jump start hopefully on that broccoli and things like that. Get more of that in the garden. And then I probably won't do turnips again. I'm just not a fan. I've roasted them, and the flavor is, I don't know. Same thing with beets, not my favorite. But yeah, I just encourage you to try it. Throw a seed in the ground, throw a seed in a pot, see how it does. If you like it, does it do well in your area? Did you start it at the wrong time maybe? Try again a different time, etc. Start practicing that. Start learning. You don't have to be perfect with what you're doing, just do it. And I'm listening to my own advice on that one. I'm definitely talking to myself with that. I'm what I call a messy perfectionist. I like to be amazing at things. I like to be instantly amazing at things. And when I'm not, it can be frustrating. So it's probably why I've adopted the mindset of, Leah's over there rolling around in the straw. That's probably why I've taken the mindset of, this is a trial garden, this is a testing garden, this is just seeing what can happen, because I know this is not a permanent place, and so why not? And if I just said, well, I don't know how long we're going to be here, so what's the point, I would never have all of this. I've grown so much of our own food. I've grown everything from kale to carrots, cabbages to, and even potatoes. We harvested some potatoes too. So I've grown quite a lot of our vegetables, and I am super excited about that. So I just wanted to encourage you to start something, throw it in a pot, throw it in the ground, give it a little bit of water, see what happens. All right, let's move on to the front. I definitely need to go through and fertilize and water everything. The tomatoes are puttering out. I've just gone through and removed all of the lettuce, if you saw in my last video, because it's bitter and it's not tasting any good anymore. So I removed all that, and then I've taken all of the strawberry runners, the little babies, like this guy, and I'm just tucking them in the soil wherever there's space, definitely where there were lettuces before. I have the beautiful artichoke growing nice and lovely here. Is it a requirement to always name your artichoke Archie? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. Lots of lovelies. I don't remember if you've seen these or not. Calla lilies came up, just the one bulb type. There should be 2 other bulb types in here, but that's okay. Cosmos are still hanging in there. Just planted this dahlia. It hasn't done anything else yet, but this one did. Gave me some more flowers. We have our lovely herb garden bed that has a lot of growth. Look at this guy. He's sad. He's a sad little borage. They should be ginormous, but that's okay. This is evening primrose, I believe. So it has taken out and filled out this space nicely, which is what I'm hoping for everything. This one is an elk campaign. This one is a marshmallow. I have some yarrow that is trying to flower, even though it's a little baby. The dill is finally going. Horehound is still not doing anything. Feverfew has. These ones pittered out. Lovage. I don't remember what that one was. Definitely going to go through after this video and water. They're pretty dry. You can see the chamomile is growing. I don't know that I will get any flowers because it's getting hot, but I figured most of this stuff will, if not give me anything this year, it will go to seed, and those seeds will come up even earlier than I was able to plant them myself. I am religiously harvesting these different basil style plants in order to make teas. In the center here is some fennel, so I look forward to that. We have toothache plant over there. If you chew on the plant, then it can help with your tooth pain. Has a little bit of a numbing sensation to it. And this borage looks a lot healthier. So they should be a lot bigger than that. Still pretty though. I'm excited to have it. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what all of this looks like next year. All right, the other big difference is that we went through and also trellised the tomatoes up front. This was not as easy of a task to do. Not that the garden was much of an easy task to do either, but these had already really started to bush out like that other one in the garden that I showed you, and to support themselves in more of a bush style. So I had to get creative with how to deal with that. So I was much more aggressive in the pruning of these ones because they needed it more than the ones in the garden, because they were competing so much. They did grow a little bit faster, taller, rather than wider. And so these ones had a lot of space, and so they grew wider instead of taller. It looks like our cactus is going to give us another flower. Maybe another round of flowers. I can't wait. At the end of the year, I'm going to put together a collaboration of all of the different moments of this cactus. So some of these, like this one, want to be more bushy and are having a hard time adjusting now to the trellis. Now it's only been a couple days since we've done it, so they will start to branch out a bit more than now that they have support. So let's walk around to some of the other ones. Now this area is not doing well. These two here, kind of that one too. I don't know if they've been laid on, trampled, maybe peed on too much. Maybe there's I know there's gophers, or I know there's voles around here, so maybe that's it, but they're struggling. So I might let them limp along now that they have a support. Maybe they'll start growing up and being happier and healthier. But I did take some cuttings of the tomatoes that I pruned in the garden when I did that, and I put them in water. So as soon as I start seeing some root growth on there, I can use them to either replace these guys or just fill in some of the gaps along the trellis that don't have any tomatoes. You can see the row of beans that I planted are doing well. Some of them are reaching up pretty tall. And I'll show you my favorite one that's growing. But first, look at this gorgeous girl. Look how big she is. She is how I wish all of the tomatoes looked. Oh, let's see if we can figure out the variety. So I need to come back and prune her bottom because she's touching the ground a lot. This is a random large red tomato. So we had some seeds compromised, and so I'm not sure what they are. But look at these. This is supposed to be a cherry delight. So I was thinking a cherry tomato, but like a regular tomato, but it's loaded. Like, look, there's one, there, there. Oh, it's got a lot on it. Thing in here. I did not prune these guys. I just put a stake around them and I'm letting them kind of do their thing. So I might come back and prune out that center area a bit. Obviously, if I don't do anything, it's just going to maybe topple over. It'd be best if it toppled over and then like just started growing back down towards the ground, but it would probably snap. So I need to decide what to do for these guys, how I want to address that, because the trellis doesn't fit all the way over. I could do up another trellis, but I might just get a large T-post or a large stake and stick it next to it and start training it and attaching it to that. I don't know, but let's look at the beans. So over here we have these guys. Look how pretty those bean pods are. So they're green and they have this stripe of like a pink magenta color. But they are massive. Like, look at this one down here. Look at that guy. Ginormous. Now this guy is a family of kidney beans, or he's in the kidney bean family, I should say. He is it's called cranberry beans because of that pretty pink magenta color streaking through it. So we have those, and we have black turtle beans as well. And then there's a third variety that I planted. I just don't remember which one it was. I'm sure I can figure it out because I have them in storage. So the whole point of these is not to do, I just love that tree. The point of it is not to do fresh eating green beans, though I wish I had planted some of those. The point is to just have some nice green foliage along this fence, which I have completed. Task done, check. But it's also to see if we can grow our own storage beans, because that is something we try to have weekly, and our meal prep is beans and rice, fillers, and they're nutritious as well, so love that. And the one last thing I wanted to share with you are these beautiful plants back here. They have really filled out this space. They have to be at least 7 feet tall, and it is confirmed. I do believe that is a birds of paradise, right? So not the one that I've had before, so that's why I didn't recognize it. I thought it might be, but I had yet to see the flowers because last year when we got here, it was after summer, so they'd already started to kind of fade out, and they weren't very tall. They hadn't flowered that we could see. So I'm excited for that. We have split some of the bulbs up and are starting to put it in the front yard as well, so we can have that sort of nice blockage from both of the neighbors prying eyes and such. And I've also put some in pots, so even when we do eventually move, we'll have some hopefully still going in there. All right, well, this is where I'm going to leave you. I'm going to go get something to eat for breakfast and get some watering done, some chores done before I gotta go to work. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out to sit with me, to hang out with me in my garden. I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning in, and I really do appreciate you guys. Let me know in the comments how you're doing, where you're from, what you're gardening, etc. And let's have a little chat. And I will see you guys all next time. Bye.